Okay, I'm at 14 Timberline Court in Cleves, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, any root intrusion, any bellies or low spots. Our access point here is a floor clean out right here, and it is just underneath the water, the main water line coming in. And we are underneath the steps here. You can see there is the closet just inside the garage, and so we're under the, basically right under the front door. The clean out is a sweep here. As you can see, if I look down in it, it's forcing me to only be able to go out towards the main or downstream, and so it's only going to be able to inspect the line from the house out to the main. And we have a weird spot right away that we'll get a look at on the way back, but if you can see this, looks like there's actually a small crack in the line there where there is roots getting in. Just a little tiny bit of roots there. It's a strange one. It's probably done when the house was built. You can see right at the bottom of right at the very bottom there. It's right as it goes through. It's that last connection before it goes through the foundation. That's pretty strange. It doesn't have a whole lot of roots. Very minimal amount of root intrusion, but it is just something that's a weak spot. This is all PVC so far, which is pretty good material. But we have a weird, like we got a little more roots getting in. And I'm going to have to run some water. This may be, there's just some stuff there on the left. I'm not sure if that's roots or if it's just there's kind of a low pressure spot as the water comes out to the outside and turns. So what we're going to have to do is either go all the way out to the main and then we'll rinse off, or we can run some water once I get out far enough, and then we'll, as we pull back, we'll be able to see what's going on there. Okay, so the line is 4-inch PVC, and it looks like it's opening up into a 6-inch clay line, which would be, the difference between the developer and the home builder. May have been the same person, but the developer went through and used clay for probably the mains and and then their part of the lateral to bring it back onto the property, and then the builder used the PVC to go out and connect to that spot. So we'll continue to push. There's an awful lot of root intrusion here. It's nothing that's causing any backup or anything, but it is something that you'll have to maintain along the way. It's a pretty normal thing to find roots in clay, just because of the nature of the material. There's connections about every 3 feet. They're short pieces of pipe, and over the years the packing in between those joints kind of breaks down a little bit and it starts allowing little finger roots. You can see that it looks like a large amount of roots, and it is, but all those roots are little tiny finger roots that kind of squeeze in and then they expand and grow out once they get into the line. So this is a pretty good amount as it's growing down towards the main here. You can see on the bottom left hand corner there is an angle indicator, and we're dropping at a 30-degree angle here, which is pretty hefty for a sewer line. Minimum is only about 1%. And so dropping, we're going to level back out here. It's either going underneath the road or we're getting very close to the main. And so we're going to keep pushing, but I'd say at the minimum this is going to need to be cleaned. And here we are at the main. So there's not a whole lot of flow right now. It's during the middle of the day. You can see some water going by, but just not a whole lot of flow. So we're going to run some water, and as we pull back, we'll witness how it's flowing, and it should help rinse off the camera. So I'm going to pause the video and run a little water, wait for it to get down to the tap. Okay, so we've got some water running. It's showing up all the way down to the main, and so we're going to pull back. We'll kind of take note of where the largest root intrusions are, but it's pretty much the length of the line. You can see how the buildup, it's not, obviously the flow line is open and things are moving, but you can just see some of the buildup on the roots. I mean, most of it's pretty minor, and it's a decent size there on the right, maybe 20 to 30%. So 49 feet. I think the worst part was at the top of the, right around in here, I think is the worst part. It's between where this drop off is. Looks like it's getting in at about 40 feet here, and you can see the roots working their way down, even the bottom of the pipe and the flow line. The good thing is that you have a pretty heavy angle of drop here at like 30 degrees, and so 40 to 45 feet there, pretty long stretch of roots. But again, it starts at about 40 feet where it drops off. See, there's a little more roots here. Another pretty heavy spot there right in the flow line. It's moving, but that could catch some toilet paper and stuff. It's about 35 feet. And here's another one. So 31. It's about, 31 feet. And then 40 feet. And 45. So we're gonna continue pulling back, but yeah, it's and then this 30 feet is where the PVC ends. That 4-inch PVC goes into 6-inch clay. And like I explained before, it's usually the builder, the developer. So the builder used PVC, the developer used clay. So it's probably at that turn of the late 70s, early 80s, where PVC was coming out and clay was still used to build the neighborhood. But then by the time they were building the houses, they were switching over to PVC. So, but I mean, structurally the line's in good shape. I didn't see any heavy, any kind of catastrophic damage or anything. The weirdest thing for me, honestly, is that usually you don't see a whole lot of root intrusion through PVC. And so you do have some here at this turn at 19 feet. Which, usually if this was glued, the roots usually don't get through. And so, but you do have roots here. It's about 18 to 19 feet where it turns, and then right here at the clean out there is a crack in the PVC. It's not causing any issues as far as structurally, but it is present and it's allowing roots in. You can see right here, and as I pull back and I'm sitting in the clean out, you can see the crack there right at the base of the clean out. So it's part of the it's actually part of the Y where they installed the clean out, and it's cracked right before the connection. And so again, you could get rid of that with a chemical or a little bit of cleaning, but just reference here is just at the base. And so I think that other one was at about 19 feet. It says 8 feet right there at the top of the clean out, because of how this thing counts based off of the drum. And so yeah, at 19 feet. So on the video it's at 8 foot, but it's right at the base of the clean out. I have to keep the way the access is to this. I'm a few feet away from the clean out with the camera, so it's counting by the rotation of the drum. It's not the most accurate footage counter. It's kind of a reference. But here we are back out of the line. And so to sum it up, the line looks good structurally overall. You have that crack here right by the right where the line where the clean out connection is, and then there's some root intrusion at about, the heaviest ones are 19 feet. I think it was about 30 feet, 31 feet, 40 feet, and I think it was, yeah, about 31 foot, 35 feet, and 40 feet. And then that's in the clay. And then about 19 feet on the PVC. And so most of that can be taken care of. I recommend an initial cleaning to get the roots cleared out, and then after that just some maintenance, maybe some root X or something similar to try to keep the roots down, and then maybe another inspection after, say, 5 years or something, just to kind of see what the condition of the roots are and see if you need to modify the maintenance schedule. Usually you may end up being able to do less maintenance than that, but the inspection will be to make sure that everything's working the way it's designed, and see how heavy the root intrusion is at that point, or if you take the tree down, see if there's even root growth going on. But all in all, I mean, the line is pretty good structurally, except for the crack there right inside the clean out. So that'll end the inspection at 14 Timberline Court in Cleves, Ohio.